Testing, testing, testing. Wait, hello, hi, testing. Testing. Hi, good evening, everyone. We're starting the event in a couple of minutes' time, so please take your seats. Come to the front. There are a lot of seats at the front. Thank you. Yep, come to the front. You can have the pizzas. You can grab one, have a seat here. All right, yeah, last request to take the seats at the front or somewhere at the back. Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Sean. I'm the co-organizer of Ethereum Singapore, as well as a co-founder of Digix Global. So welcome to the first of the 6 events we have planned for October. This month is going to be a little bit more of a mix-up. We have applications ranging from tech as well as fintech, which is SwipeCrypto tonight. We have a new generation of a blockchain called Zilliqa that's happening tomorrow. We have insurancing. We have Bancor, which is one of the more hot ICO that happened sometime in June. We have Bluezell, a database service project that's presenting this month. So the month of October, you guys can expect to have a lot of exciting meetups that will happen. So before I bring on SwipeCrypto, I'd like to introduce to you this project that recently turned crypto. So if you guys were to visit 41 Beach Road, which is just right off Purvis Street, just somewhere around Blast Plaza, this cafe actually came to us sometime a month ago, and they were asking to actually integrate crypto payments to pay for coffee. So any users out there who have Bitcoins or Ethers, or in the future, even if you want to pay for your coffee using gold tokens such as DGX gold tokens, you can always visit a cafe. Yeah, so check them out. They are one of the more innovative cafes out there. It's an old business that they're trying to, really bring technology into the same sphere as well. Next slide, Ian. Yep, so without further ado, I'd like to invite SwipeCrypto. SwipeCrypto is a new project on the block. They are integrating Ethereum into their protocol. They are a successful real-world business where they have 2 products, Aguila Rewards as well as Cepat Swipe. These 2 are products that have been in Philippines as well as Indonesia and have downloads of almost close to 500,000 on the Google Play Store. So it's a very much alive, live working business who has prototypes out there, and they are looking to enter into the Ethereum blockchain world. So let's welcome Andrew.
Hey, thanks, Sean. Thanks. Hey, hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. Yeah, thanks for coming to our presentation today. We'd like to share a little more, like on SwipeCrypto, what we are doing, what we want to do, right? Shall we start? Okay, mobile advertising landscape today, right? We know mobile now is the first screen, right? You look more to your mobile every day. If you forget your mobile phone at your home, then you feel like something is missing, part of your life is missing, And rather than watching TV, typically I know that in Singapore most of the people are actually looking more at their mobile phones and their tablets, rather than relying on TV, relying on the newspaper, relying on the magazine, because all these contents actually you can easily consume in the mobile anyway, right? And we also know that in the advertising world, right? Today we have the duopoly of the Google and Facebook, right? As much as we know that there are a lot of fraud, like every time that I try to advertise something in Facebook, I try to boost some posts, I'll get like a lot of fixtures likes, like from Indonesia, Philippines, Brazil, Nigeria, and all those things, whereby they are known to have this thing called click farms, right? I'll even show some video about it later, right? The more high-tech one, right? And of course, And of course, we know that the ad frauds and bot traffic are problematic. They actually contribute to around 36% of the digital ad spending, right? Okay, can we go to the next slide? Okay, to give you some statistic of how bad is the digital advertising fraud, right? I'd like to show you one of the particular technique that people do on the ad fraud, which is called pop under. Right. What is pop under? Basically, it's like, when you open up this website, they will actually pop up something underneath the browser, and typically they'll play some video, and typically they'll teach you to do some investment, right? Okay, so if you look at it, pop ads, one of the, industry leader in terms of pop under, right? Their Alexa rank is actually globally, they are ranked number 73, and another one of their competitor on clicks are actually ranked 51. No, you're looking at the global rank, right? So these sites are actually visited so often that they actually rank 51 and rank 73 in the whole world of the internet access, right? And of course, another one is, you have all these Chinese high-tech click farms, Can we go to the next slide and show the video? It's amazing, right? How much they set up, how many mobile phones out there, right? To basically do all of your likes to your Facebook, download some apps, click on the banner, right? It is really professionally done. No? Seriously, this is professional fraud. No? This is the highest tier of the con. Okay, let's go to the next one. Right. Okay, so a little bit intro of who are we, right? We are established, like we are founded in Singapore in May 2016, so almost 1.5 years now. We launched our first mobile Lockscreen app in Philippines, branded under the name of Aguila Rewards on 26th of October 2016. We partnered together with the biggest OEM phone maker in Philippines, named My Phone, right? So what do? Is we serve advertisement in the lock screen for people who download this particular Aguila Rewards app. And in return, right, for everyone who actually rented us their lock screen to show all this advertising, we are actually doing a lucky draw every day, every week, right? And we are giving away stuff such as like some cheap silicone watch, power bank, mobile phones, and then, every quarter, every 4 months, we actually give away 1 million peso, which is actually quite significant. Don't mind winning it, around 20,000 US dollar, right? To give some perspective. So that lady is the lucky one who actually won the, 1 million peso tax-free from, Aguila Rewards, right? So from the learning in, Philippines, in May 2017, we also launched another app named Cepat Swipe, branded Cepat Swipe in Indonesia. So far, it is still under soft launch, right? So the interesting part, from what we learned based on the learnings in Philippines, right? One thing is that when we give away physical items, such as mobile phone or your power bank, all this thing, right? Philippines has 7,000 over islands, right? And my phones only have like around 50 stores nationwide. So some of the people actually need to do island hopping, and the traffic jam in Manila is just scary, right? So many people complaining in Facebook, all this thing, or in the social media, all this, are actually saying that, hey, I come to your store, the stuff is not around, or, for all the efforts that they make, right, to do island hopping and all those things, and yet, they still can't collect the, rewards. And then some also, like, some of the item may be defected, and then they need to make another island hopping trip, basically, to, exchange the rewards. So there are a lot of painful experience, right? And this is where we actually tweak, right, the implementation in Indonesia, right? We still need to give rewards, right? Without giving rewards, who wants to, basically download advertisement into your lock screen, and being fit with all the advertisement, right? So what do? Is we change it into more of a digital vouchers, right? In Indonesia, 99% of the mobile users are actually prepaid users, right? So what do? We give them mobile top-up loads, right? And then there's also a minimart change which is available nationwide, and then we are also giving away their digital vouchers, right? But in between the October 2016 and May 2017, we have been scratching our head to find the solution to make this particular solution to be more scalable. If you look at it, today I want to go to Myanmar, right? I have to find out like what is the what do they want to do, what is the rewards that will entice the user to basically use this particular app, right? At the same time, I need to find out whether is there any way for us to do digital integration, right? So a lot of efforts, and especially there's someone actually from Kenya who reached out to us, right? I'll be very frank, is there anyone from Kenya here? Oh, great. Oh, that's Kenya. Okay, Kenya country, Nairobi. Okay, yeah. So we totally have no visibility of what is available in Kenya, what should we give them, whether PayPal is inside there, whether that can be one form of rewards, whether who should we partner with in terms of the media agency and all these things. So that's where I think around January or February 2017 we found out blockchain technology, and we feel that that is something that can potentially solve our scalability problem, right? And of course, after the soft launch of the Cepat Swipe in May 2017, we allocated most of our resources to kickstart SwipeCrypto in July 2017. Right? Okay, next. Our team consists of 4 industry veterans, right? We have Clifford, the CEO over there, right? Background is in IBM Lenovo. Myself and Kueh, we are very much telco, and Singapore government projects, right? And Ian is also from telco background, and McKinsey consultancy. Yep. And we are very grateful to have advisors such as Sean, Casey. Where's Casey? Yeah? Oh, okay. He's not around. Okay. Davey Makimian, right? The CEO of Alternative Media Group. Alternative Media Group is actually the biggest out-of-home advertising agency in Indonesia. We work together for Cepat Swipe project, and they are very happy when they hear about our initiative in SwipeCrypto, and they are more than happy to lend their expertise, their know-how in the industry, to support us as part of the advisor, right? We also have Ivo from edX, right? One of the first advertising ad tech product that managed to ICO, right? The CEO also, on board onto our advisor team. And of course, we are very happy that Yaron is here to support us as well, right? From Kyber Network to, of course, beef us up on our technical, right? So, we will be able to ensure that we are delivering, the best solution available, possible, based on whatever constraint available now. Okay, next. So, what is SwipeCrypto actually, right? So, SwipeCrypto actually consists of these few building blocks. Yeah? The first one is Lockscreen. right? So look at it that way, right? We are actually serving some content on the lock screen, right? It's not necessarily always has to be advertising, right? There can be other, other content as well, such as we can serve news, right? We can serve games, and there are more creative implementation that I'd like to share a bit later, right? So what do you do with this? Very simple, right? Swipe to the left, and then you'll go to the landing page of this particular content, right? It can be video, it can be YouTube video, it can be just a normal web page, right? It can be drive that particular user to a particular app, certain page of a particular app. It can drive them to a survey, right? And if you want to unlock your screen and go to your home screen, you can just swipe to the right, just as simple as that, right? We can always introduce swipe up, swipe right, and other swipe if necessary, right? Okay, and we are blockchain powered, right? This is why this is our aha moment whereby we find like, oh, probably blockchain can actually bridge the scalability issues that we face in the current solution, right? And the biggest differentiation between the Aguila rewards and the cepat swipe that we have delivered before, with the SwipeCrypto solution, is this particular thing called Publisher SDK integration. So previously, it's a bit silly, right? For us to advertise to people, we need to get people to download our apps, right? They need to download that specific apps in Philippines and that specific app, cepat swipe app in Indonesia, in order to start getting the advertisement in the lock screen. So what we are changing now is actually we are packaging our lock screen into an SDK, which is like a library, right, or a protocol that you can actually embed in any Android app out there with simple 2 lines of code, right? I can even show you the codes later, right? So imagine this, right? If we integrate with 10 mobile applications out there that somehow has 100,000 unique users, right? We are immediately having 1 million users, rather than we have to like, at the moment, as much as we know a lot of fraud in Facebook and Google, we are still going through them, pay them a lot of money to basically get the users, right? A lot of non-organic, marketing that we need to spend. So basically, we are changing from the B to C model to a B to B to C model, right? We have a very advanced targeting system as well. You can target something like, I want to target anyone around maybe Clarke Quay area who has Uber app on their phone but doesn't have Deliveroo, male around 26 to 35 years old with an income level of maybe 50K annual income, who likes football. We can actually do that sort of targeting, right? It's not just as the typical way of like, oh, I just want to target, based on, all the males, all the, everyone who is around this area. We can actually do all this combination of all these criteria, right? And of course, we have our AI, right? Our current AI, what do they do is actually to filter out a lot of bad traffic, a lot of bot traffic, a lot of fake traffic. If you look at it in our implementation in Indonesia, on cepat swipe, we get a lot of people who actually try to find a loophole within our system for 50 cents Sing worth of top-up credits, right? And so what do is we analyze their IP, right? We analyze their behavior, we analyze how often this particular user swipe, and then we also introduce some server-side tokens, server-side digital signature, all these things to actually prevent the users to game the system, right? And of course, the other aspect of the AI that we have implemented is basically to for every articles, every news article, every single advertisement that a user actually engage with when they swipe to the left, right? We actually do all the keyword scanning, and basically from there we will derive, what are the particular interests, whether there's any association to certain brands, or whether there's any preference, likings to certain product, and that is where that is how we implemented this basically to improve the content that is delivered to the users. So if you ask me, like, why lock screen, right? I think I explained earlier about like swipe left to engage and then swipe right to go to your home screen, right? Of course, we can support all these typical engagement in digital advertising world, right? We can do all the CPM, which is impression-based, CPC, which is your click-based. You're only charged when someone actually swipe left to your advertisement. We can also do CPCV, whereby we detect actually how much video have, let's say when you swipe left, it go to a video, and then we'll detect like whether the person finished viewing the video or at least 70% of it, And then we can also do CPI, whereby we direct people to do app install, CPA more for registration, deep link to an app. We also do survey, affiliate marketing, and plenty more. A lot of things we can do, right? But why Lockscreen? Basically, it is it gives the maximum brand exposure. Typically, your attention is very fresh when you want to use your phone, because typically, like, oh, I heard my phone ringing and I want to reply my WhatsApp messages, Telegram messages, or reply my emails. So when you look at it, the exposure of the brand, when you first unlock your screen, actually it registered because you are focusing on that particular on your mobile at that moment, right? And it's definitely a premium monetization, right? Research from one of the UK company actually shows that by average, people are unlocking their screen 70 times a day. But we are very, very sure that the people who are younger, right, basically our current Cepat Swipe and Aguilar Rewards demographic, they are actually unlocking at around 100 to 150 times a day, right? And that is provided the 100 and 150 times when they have internet access, right? So having that, you have so many people accessing that, and it is full screen, right? It looks rather beautiful, right? I mean, you can see like the Nissan car, full screen. It's not like a small banner, that you can't really see all the text. You still can put some text over there, right? If there's a promo and all this thing. And in fact, a lot of the airlines, all those things will just put like, okay, Manila, Singapore, how much peso actually for the flight ticket, right? And traveling typically is one of our strong point, as in we find that the click-through rate is relatively high for most of the traveling advertisement, right? Okay. Next one is more on the uncompromised UI and UX experience. If you look at it, typically the current app out there, who actually serve some advertisement, you actually need to launch that particular app, in order to consume in order to see the advertisement. And typically it gets annoying, because what happens is just before you can do the battle, then you are forced to view some video, right? So basically in the UI and experience perspective is actually rather annoying, and that's why people will memorize like, okay, where do I need to press the X, right? And then once it show up, before it's finished loading, the X will be pressed already. So by moving it into Lockscreen, we actually believe that we are not compromising the UI and UX of the application. And in any way, this can also be a complementary advertising solution for any app that already has an in-app advertising. We do increase the DAU and MAU, right? Daily active users and monthly active user for the mobile app, right? By embedding our solution, we also allow the application to also improve the DAU and MAU by actually showing their own app content over here. So when they swipe left, instead of like going to any landing page, going to Facebook app or what, they are going to the app, to the app that actually carry our SDK instead. Right. Say Deliveroo put our, say app like Deliveroo put our SDK. So what happens is we can do something like every day around 6:30 p.m. we will serve, this particular Deliveroo advertisement here, and when they swipe left, it will actually go to the ordering page of the Deliveroo, or even to whatever promo that they are trying to push. Right. And of course, the last one is the quality traffic. What we do is, we introduce all the digital server token, right, to make sure that anyone who try to game the system cannot just, run some, stress test tools and all those things to basically, mimic all the, swipe left and, gain all the, benefits from here, right? Okay. So this is one interesting implementation of Lockscreen in Philippines that we were doing with the Philippine government. Unfortunately, Philippines, due to the where it is situated geographically, it actually tends to have typhoon, flood, and all this problem. So what do we do with them is we actually work together with PAGASA. I can't remember what it stands for now, right? But basically, it's a government agency that handles all these emergencies, all the floods, all the typhoon, and all those things, right? So what I show you here is actually a real-life system that last time we have done together with them. So the next time that the user of our app or our SDK actually unlock their screen, right, they will actually view this particular quite annoying screen, and the siren actually can even have some sound, like all this thing. And when they swipe to the left, right, they will actually encourage people to share about this particular public alerts. So it's more in the more in the context of emergency notifications to the users. And the idea last time that we are doing together with the Philippine government is also to share with them, who are actually engaging to this particular notification, as well as who do they share this particular information to. Right? And another one that we were doing together with the Philippine government is more on the presidential communications. Right? If you look at it, I think most people from developing countries, they use a lot of social media, a lot of social media. But instead of following your own government or following to know what the local government is doing, all these things, they are following all the celebrities and all those things. And then many times people may end up thinking the government is not doing anything at all for them, right? So what do we do with the Philippine government is they ask us to propose, right? How can we push all the president initiative, all this thing right to the to the users, to the people, right? And we all know that in the social media also there are a lot of fake news, right? So what do? We will pull all the posts from the presidential communication Facebook, right? And then we'll serve it over here. And then when they swipe to the right, they will actually go to the Facebook app with the showing the post that the post that is basically shown on the lock screen. Right. Okay. And next one, maybe you ask me why blockchain, right? I think the simplest answer is it is a universal rewards token, right? Today, if basically anyone who has some, crypto wallet or Ether wallet, all this, we can already send them the, cryptocurrency. We can already send them the Ethers, right? So rather than go country by country thinking of integrating with this, telco, to give away this top up, integrate with, maybe other mini-marts or work together with logistic company to send mobile phones and all those things. We feel that crypto actually can be the solution for the universal rewards. Then someone from Kenya can always go to my Ether wallet and sign up the wallet, and we can send them their rewards in the form of Ethers, right? Okay, and of course it's transparency, right? What we plan to do with SwipeCrypto is basically to load all this information of the clickstream, right? Whoever who swipe to the left, swipe to the right, the impression, all this thing, whoever will download, whoever will view the video, all this thing into blockchain, right? So that it is open for people to audit. Of course, the information will be encrypted, and we'll make sure that some role-based access will be implemented, so that each advertiser can only see their own data, right? So by having this transparency, of course, it also helped to prevent the ad fraud. On top of how we implement our lock screen with our own standard, right? Whereby our lock screen actually use the web view technology, whereby all the pop under all this thing will not work, will not be able to work, right? And also it is not a platform that as flexible as the web, that you can basically inject some JavaScript over here and JavaScript over there, and then you can do plenty of hanky-panky stuff, right? So by doing that, actually we hope blockchain also can help us to prevent ad fraud on top of our AI capability, right? Okay. So how does it work, right? So the center of the SwipeCrypto solution is actually this particular SWC token, that ERC20 standard compliant token that we are issuing, right? So what happened is, for any brands or for any advertising agencies that wants to advertise with SwipeCrypto, right, what do? Is they need to buy ad slot from us using the SWC token, right? Of course, the price of the advertising slot itself will tie back to fiat, no? I mean, otherwise then it will be subject to the fluctuative of the exchange of the value of the SWC token, right? So all these brands can buy ad slot from us using the SWC token, right? If they if there are those ad exchanges that still currently dealing with fiat, likely what we are going to do is we'll set up an agency that will help to convert their fiat into our SWC token, right? So after they buy all this thing, we'll basically create the smart contract for this particular advertising campaign, right? We will start pushing the advertisement to the publisher's app, to all these users of the publisher's app, right? Such as all the app that integrated with our SDK, right? And these people will basically look at it, whether they will swipe left, swipe right, all this thing, and all this click stream, like all this engagement information, will actually be tracked for both the brands and for the publishers, right? And at the end of the campaign, that is where we distribute all the rewards token to publishers and to the app users. Straightforward, yeah? Okay. And then the economics of our token, right? The first one, of course, is utility token, right? Because it is being used to buy the ad slot, right? We have a deflationary token model whereby we burn some of the token, right? I'll explain a bit later. And of course, the app users SWC token, because not everyone will know like, oh, there's such thing like crypto wallet, right? So what do? We also allow them, like, with the agreement with the publisher, to actually exchange their token into the in-app item. Say a game that integrated with our SDK, right? Maybe they can, after they swipe 10 times, maybe they can get one sword in the app, so that they can fight better, or like in games like Candy Crush, maybe they can get some gold bar so that they can get additional life and stuff, right? So, okay, let me go through the illustration of the SWC token distribution, right? So, say advertiser today buy 100 SWC worth of ad slot, right? So, what happened is, at the end of the campaign, SwipeCrypto will basically distribute this to the app publishers. Like 57.5% of the token will actually be distributed to the publishers, right? I mean, it will be distributed to the individual publishers, depends on their performance. Say Candy Crush maybe can get 20, the other one maybe get 20, and another one gets 17.5, right? And then the 15% of the 100 SWC will actually be distributed to the app users, but we will hold it on their behalf, right? App users will need to have a minimum number of SWC tokens before they can actually withdraw it, before we can actually transfer it to their, to their crypto wallet, right? And of course, at the same time, we are also applying some expiry date for users SWC token. So they must reach, let's say, certain minimum withdrawal limits, by maybe like 6 months or 1 year. That will be to be determined, I think, when we run our survey on the business. Yeah. Okay, and basically all these app users then this 15% will be further distributed to individual users of the apps, right? And as I mentioned earlier about the deflationary token model, right? 5% of it will be burned. The 22.5% of it will be kept as a platform fee. Right? And something interesting about our token is that during the expired tokens of this user, tokens that they never actually manage to cash out, right? We also will burn it, or partially will be burned, and partially also we will rechannel it as a bounty, right? And look at it this way: our tokens will have a limited supply of 100 million SWC only, so there's no more additional issuance of token. So how attractive is this business? By looking at the average number of screen unlock, number of Android users in the world, and then by taking the rate of impression base, which is the cheapest. Actually, we are looking at 10B total addressable market for global total addressable market, right? And as this particular lock screen currently only available for Android devices, right? Here are some statistics of the penetration of Android in the world, right? Like globally, it is 87%. Indonesia, it is actually around 94%. Basically, in all the developing countries, the numbers of Android penetration is relatively high. Yeah. Okay, high level architecture of our solution. Basically, on the client side, we have our mobile app with Lockscreen SDK, right? And we also have the all your traditional browser, all your current browsers, right? And then just to give some information on the color coding, the green one are something that we have already completed in our current system, right? Okay, so in the web tier, of course, eventually we need to have an advertiser self-service like Facebook, whereby they can come in, they can do their own targeting, they can set their own budget, right? They can pay us some, transfer the SWC token to us, or they can pay us fiat and then we convert for them, right? And then there's also publisher self-service, right? Publisher self-service will be the place whereby the app developer will come in, right? Sign up, get their API key, and then at the same time set all the characteristic of the app, such as what are the category of the app, whether it's COPPA compliant, whether it's child friendly, right? And also enter their address, their crypto wallet address, right? And then we also have our content serving API. At the moment, we can serve content such as ads, games, all the emergency notifications, video, right? We also have our engagement API, which track how many clicks, how many swipe left, how many swipe right, how many impressions, how many video is being completed, right? And eventually, of course, we'll do the marketplace API as well, which allows user of Angry Bird apps to probably earn the token in Angry Birds, but maybe buy some in-app item maybe from Candy Crush. Just some illustration. Yeah. Okay. So on the service tier, we have our own ad engine now. We have a very thorough profiling engine. AI, as mentioned earlier, right? We have integrated with third-party services. Of course, when SwipeCrypto solution come full circle, I think all these things will still need to be beefed up, right? We still need to do a lot of improvement to all this, right? And we plan to build the crypto services eventually, right? When to kickstart when we kickstart the development into the blockchain, right? Okay. And on the data side, basically, currently everything is already stored in the database, right? We are looking at integration also with the main Ethereum chain. And then currently, we are actually considering to use between IPFS or setting up our own private chain to basically record down all the user clickstream, user engagement info. Because I think we know that the current throughput rate that the main chain can support is definitely not enough for the current for the engagement info that we are storing, right? Maybe to give you some info, like at the moment in Philippines and Indonesia, we are actually basically serving maybe around 10 to 15,000 engagement information per minute. Don't think don't think at the moment it's possible to record all these things to the main chain, and of course I think it will be too expensive as well, right? Okay. So, I'd like to introduce you to this guy, Mauricio, right? Mauricio is actually the founder of this particular app called Around J, right? Around J is a community app targeting the international football fans for this particular Italian club. I think maybe the biggest Italian football club called Juventus, right? And they have they serve a lot of users from Europe, US, and Australia, right? So they have more than 1 million Facebook followers, right? You can see it over here, right? And they have this particular mobile app that was built on Apache Cordova, right? So when they talk to us, they basically complain about they want to earn more from the digital advertising. They think that whatever strategy they have at the moment, right, is not effective. Basically, they're integrating with AdMob within their app, right? So with 1 million users, actually, he should be earning quite a sizable income, but from what they share with us, it seems like it's nothing fantastic, right? So we introduced SwipeCrypto for them, and Around J will be the first app that will be integrated with SwipeCrypto, right? And in fact, I already have the app here, right? It's already working, but it's not published to the Play Store yet, right? You will see the news that the user has not read will actually be shown on the lock screen, right? It doesn't have the advertisement yet, but the SDK implementation is already done, and we can always integrate the advertisement into this app without any problem, right? Okay, next one. How does the Around J team integrate with us, right? Basically, as I mentioned earlier, the 2 lines of code. 2 lines of code is the minimum, of course, right? Basically, they will need to do a bit more to send us all the profile info of the user if they have those information, right? The first one, basically, they will take our, library, right, from GitHub or from JCenter, right? Please note, that particular link will work eventually, but we haven't put up the library yet because we are still troubleshooting, some of the performance and bugs that we have, right? And then the second lines that they need to add is this particular line 15, right? Whereby just add these particular lines and then put in your API key over here, right? As simple as that, right? And then the next time the user lock and unlock the screen will basically serve the content and the ads accordingly, right? So for Around J, the interesting part is they will serve the news that user haven't read. When you swipe to the left, basically you will go inside Around J app into the article that you are swiping left into, right? Okay, such as this one. If you look at it, I think it's the same article, and definitely it helps increasing their daily active user and monthly active user by implementing this. We are very happy to have partnership with edX as well, right? edX has agreed, to appoint us as their first lock screen publisher for their ad exchange, right? We also partner with Digix, right? With Alternative Media Group. I mentioned earlier the biggest advertising out-of-home advertising agency in Indonesia, and of course with Wings Prediction Platform, right? We will be announcing more partnership, shortly, So check out our website, or check out our Medium. We will announce it there. Some of the activities, right? Also, we showcase SwipeCrypto solution first in Tech in Asia 2017 product development conference, right, in Jakarta. I think that's the COO of Tech in Asia Indonesia, right? And we were also interviewed by Liputan 6 Indonesia, one of the biggest media in Indonesia. Then this few photo here, partnership with my phone when we launched the Aguila Rewards, partnership with AMG, and also partnership with Pedals PBM. Basically, this is when we launched the Cepat Swipe app in Indonesia. Also, you can see, we do our sharing in the Immutable Blockchain Summit 2017, an event by Kinetic Capital. Can see Clifford photo there, I know, but a bit small, a bit blurry. We have some meetup in Indonesia with the blockchain community as well. The top one with Exclusor, the bottom one is with Basic Attention Token. We are basically, very much in sync with them, right? We are looking for ways to partners together, right, to basically build this community together in Indonesia. And we are happy to share that, we are actually nominated as finalists in Most Effective Mobile First Service for, from Mobile Marketing Awards, right, for effective basically this, the awards ceremony, I think, will be done in somewhere in mid-November in London, right? We are nominated together with, other company solutions such as from Cisco, Coke as well, right? Coca-Cola, Amazon, some Amazon solution as well, right? And then we are also featured by Yahoo Finance, Business Insider, Bitcoin Exchange Guide, Asia One, Mobile Marketer, and of course I think we will be going for more PR soon, right? Okay. So we are also planning to share more on the Tech in Asia Jakarta 2017 on 1st and 2nd of November, right? There will be it's likely there will be article or there will be interview with the SwipeCrypto team as well, right? We have also set up the Ethereum meetup in Indonesia, right? So we will start to build the community educate the community, right? Bring in some of the blockchain experts also from the region, right? And in the second week of November, we will basically showcase our solution in Asia 2017. Asia 2017 is actually the biggest advertising event in the region, right? If you look at it, the caliber of the speakers that come for Asia will be someone like Kofi Annan, Guy Kawasaki, David Coulthard. It is the who's who, some CEO of iFlix Malaysia, Ogilvy, VP, one of the top 500 most powerful Muslim in the world. All this, they are coming to share at Asia. So what do we do in Asia, right? We will basically work together with our partner, Alternative Media Group, to actually provide an Asia app, right? So what do you have in this Asia app, right? Basically, we will serve, Asia app itself is basically just having the same exact website of Asia website. But what is the differentiation is actually we are serving content to the lock screen of that app for information such as like the speakers of the day, general information about Bali, right? And also of the services and offering of Alternative Media Group, and of course the information of Cepat Swipe and SwipeCrypto as well, right? Okay. Okay. I think that's the end of my sharing, right? Some of the info of our contacts are here, right? Of course, happy, if to pick up any question from anyone here. Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? Well, I guess Andrew, you did a very good job. Man. Everybody's very clear on what you're
thank
trying
you, boss.
to
Thank
preach.
you.
All right. John, you like to do closing?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, personally, to me, it's one of the more interesting project where you combine edtech as well as fintech. So it's something that they had demonstrated of using blockchain as a scaling solution for a company purpose. And I think it's something that fellow entrepreneurs out there, if you're interested in finding ways of scaling, not just in team expansion, but looking more in terms of tech innovation, this is something that you can be looking forward to them about. Any other further questions? We have time for questions, about 5 to 10 more minutes. So yeah, just one.
So one of the challenges of working with blockchain is energy consumption. So a lot of projects fall short because of the amount of energy required isn't worth the cost of or the opportunity of income generated from using it. So is that something that's an issue with Lockscreen advertising?
Okay, I think you're talking about the general, like the current mining for the Ethers and the Bitcoin itself, whereby you can actually mine new coins, right? For us, actually, we will issue 100 million SWC tokens and no more. So there's no mining involved over here, right? And most of the power consumption or everything actually has to do more with our servers, right? Actually, maybe I forgot to share one thing, right? So if you look at it, this phone is actually very special, right? The RAM of this phone is only 128 meg, right? Some of the phones out there today have a 6 gig RAM, right? And our app, actually proven to be, can run, can run seamlessly in this particular phone, right? It doesn't consume that much battery as well. We tested this a lot during our first, launch in Philippines with my phone. That's why they give us one of their lower end phone to basically, try it out, right? So we need to basically pass all these rigorous tests, right, before actually my phone is agreeable to pre-install the app into all of their devices. Because like it or not, right? My phone is still targeting the middle and lower class of the in terms of social economy level, right? So I think in terms of your question about the power consumption, I think it is more for the mining of the Bitcoin, and hopefully Ethereum when they change to POS, hopefully it won't take up that much power consumption anymore. Right? Hope it answers this question. Thank you.
Hi,
Yes,
nice talk. Sorry, maybe I'm missing something, but I didn't quite get why specifically you chose blockchain, because this kind of solutions existed, and will exist without blockchain. I think you mentioned you sort of chose it because of scaling up, and maybe I just don't know enough, but I fail to see how is blockchain going to help you scale as opposed to any competing non-blockchain platform. Thanks.
Okay, good question. Yeah, thanks. So the problem with today advertising world is there are too many middlemen, right? So typically, there are three main components of the digital advertising. There is the advertiser, the brands, right? There is the publisher, the one who publishes the advertisements, and of course, there are users who consume the ads, right? So in between the advertiser and the publisher, there are tons and tons and tons and tons of middlemen in between. Ad exchanges will work with other ad exchanges, will work with this ad network and all this thing, right? So the problem with all this thing is actually in the transparency, right? So when the end, for whatever reason, for the one that deal direct with the customer, when they bill the customers, actually there are many markups in between, and then also there are a lot of short changes for the publishers. Say, right, this particular advertisement for Nissan just now, right, that I showed earlier, let's say, right, maybe Nissan advertisement, Nissan maybe pay 1 million for this particular, for this particular ad to the agency A, right? Agency A will also outsource to B, C, D, E, F, G, and everyone take a bit of cut, right? And then in the end, maybe due to the markup and everything, actually the actual value that served for Nissan maybe is only 500,000, right? Then the other half may be gone somewhere, right? So this is how we want to solve the solution, by actually storing all the clickstream, right? All the ad serving, putting it up into, at the moment, I think the likeliest is only IPFS. Like what you mentioned, in terms of scalable, of course, the number of transactions per, that it can handle, is definitely not as fantastic as the current database, right? As the traditional database, right? By doing this, right, by having one single source of truth that is accessible by all the publishers and the advertisers, right, we will ensure that there's no fraud and no hanky-panky between the people who play in between. Yeah, does that answer you?
Yep. Any other questions? Yeah. Oh, okay, one more.
Just a simple question. Let's say the Android have both of the apps. I mean, the Android device have both of the apps. So how do you know?
Okay, good question, right? What happened is, at the moment, what we plan is to do a round robin, right? Ian, can you go to the around? Oh, sorry. Actually, typically, we will mention here which app actually serve the particular advertisement, right? So depends on the user engage to which particular publisher. That publisher will be the one that get rewarded. Does that answer your question? Yeah. But of course, I think the difference between our own rewards app compared to the SDK model, right? In our own rewards app, we will basically, every time you turn on and off your screen, right, we'll serve you with some sort of advertisement. But I think when we changing the model to the SDK model, right, that's where we need to control the number of advertisements served per day, right? Maybe to around 5 to 10 only. Otherwise, I think people will get annoyed. People who are annoyed with this app, of course, we put a kill switch for people to turn it off, right? But people, I don't know, some people may not know how to turn it off, and what. We also don't want to, make this particular lock screen to annoy everyone, and next time we are also listed as one of the ad fraud.
All right, so let's give Andrew and his team a big round of applause. So tomorrow we have another event by Zilliqa Blockchain. It will be held here as well at 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. The event tomorrow will be held in conjunction with the other meetup that is actually dealing with real estate on the blockchain. It's not RayDAO that we did last month, it's something else. So there will be 2 talks tomorrow. The first one will be the real estate and the blockchain, followed by Zilliqa blockchain. Yeah. So yeah, hope to see you guys soon at the next event, and have a good night. Thank you.